If this video reaches one person that may need to hear it, my cup runneth over. Amen. If you believe in Jesus, or even if you don't, I need you to hear this. I know what it feels like to wake up and not want to be here anymore. I know how it feels to be completely controlled by addiction and have no idea how to stop. And I also know what it feels like to have your life completely changed. Not overnight, not perfectly, but real lasting change. And if this video reaches the right people, I've decided that I'm going to share the full version of my story soon. But today, I'm just going to give you a much shorter version of that. My name is Joey, and I am a recovered heroin addict. I put emphasis on the word recovered because I have been made a new creation. And we do recover. It says that we recover in the big book, and the Bible tells us that in Christ Jesus we've been made a new creation. That doesn't sound like I'm recovering for the rest of my life to me. And I've been real careful about saying this because I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. But I bought the lie society sold me my entire life. I built my entire identity around substances. And I know now that if you want even a chance, because the odds are against us, if you want a chance to survive this thing, you have to completely tear down whatever identity that you've built and build a new one. You have to build a new identity. Addiction controlled everything in my life. My relationships, my decisions, the way I saw myself. I did not love myself. I did not respect myself. And to be honest with you, I did not believe that my life had much value at all. I was stuck in a cycle of trying to quit, failing, feeling overwhelming shame and guilt, and going right back to it. And if you're watching this right now, you might know exactly what that feels like. A lot of people don't understand this. It's not like we want to live that way. It's not like we want to feel that way. But a lot of us, we don't know how to live any other way. We've never been taught how to live any other way. Like I said a minute ago, I built my entire identity around it. So getting sober was terrifying. It was completely unknown. And I think that's what stops a lot of people from making that leap of faith. Because I believe the majority of human suffering comes from the fear of the unknown. We stray away from change even when we know that it's for our good. And eventually, addiction takes everything from you. Your relationships, your peace, your identity. At the height of my addiction, I did not even recognize myself. And when I first got sober, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. But something happened, and I wish I could tell you it was one big moment. The sky opened up, and Jesus himself came down from the clouds in the heavens and just bestowed sobriety upon me. But that ain't how it works. And it was a series of moments where I was broken down enough, just enough to become willing. And for me, that is where God met me. And that might sound silly to you, like, what does that even mean, right? Well, the Bible, it says you cannot serve two masters. When I was hooked on opiates, that was my master. You're either with God or you're against him. When I was God's enemy, he did not leave me. He waited patiently for me, just like he's waiting patiently for you. Not when I had it all together. It was when I had absolutely nothing left. I barely had my life left. Like alive. I was barely alive. When I got arrested, I was 129 pounds. I was absolutely emaciated. And I fought it. I fought it to the last. Listen, man, I fought it so hard. I fought it so hard. It's so crazy to look back and think how hard I fought to hang on to the thing that was absolutely killing me. I tried to jump out of the cop car window on my way to jail. That didn't work. I got to jail, into the holding cell. I wouldn't tell them my name for 3 days. So they shut my water off. That didn't work. And eventually I didn't have anything left in me. I had no fight left in me. And that was it. That's what God was waiting for. He was waiting for the moment that I had just nothing left. And that is something that I need people to understand. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to be willing. And that's a tough thing. God, it took me almost dying for me to become willing. Think about that. That willingness is what changed everything for me. It opened the door to recovery. It opened the door to guidance, to people, and people that wanted to help me and didn't want anything in return. You know, if you've lived a lifestyle of substance abuse, you know that it's a completely transactional lifestyle. So it's hard for people, especially in early recovery, to understand that there are people out there that want to help us and they do not want anything from us in return. But slowly, things started to change for me. Today, my life looks completely different. Not because I'm special or smarter or anything. It's because I protect my recovery. I've built routines, I've built structure, and I use tools today because I know what happens when I don't. I stay connected today, whether that's meetings or, just staying connected to the people that I have in my circle, or just even being honest about where I'm at. And I'm not talking about where I'm at physically, I'm talking about where I'm at mentally. I spend time today growing spiritually because it keeps me grounded. One of the biggest things that's helped me today is writing things down. That's why I created these journals. It is a safe place where I can organize my thoughts. You don't have to be in recovery. There is so many positive benefits for journaling. 42% of people that write their goals down and revisit them, they achieve their goals. I am one of them 42% of people. Journaling helps with emotional regulation. It helps you be able to understand your feelings, because when we're using, we spend forever just masking our feelings. And then when that fog starts to clear, we start to feel everything again and we're like, I don't know how to cope with this, and we want to run back to the only thing we know how to cope with, and that is substances. That's why, your thoughts become feelings, your feelings become an action, and we become our thoughts in some way or another. That's why it's important to be able to write that stuff down and then revisit it. I needed something to help me stay accountable every day. I thrive with structure. Our journals are lightly guided. They have, just the right amount of structure in them. And then it gives you the freedom to write for pages and pages. In the beginning, we talk about what are the benefits of journaling. Whether you're newly sober or years into the journey, writing things down can help you process emotions, reduce anxiety, and lift your mood. It gives you a safe space to explore your thoughts and feelings, which builds self awareness. Journaling can also boost your creativity, improve how you express yourself, and help with time management. Oh my God, I was terrible with time management. By making lists and tracking goals. Most importantly, it encourages self reflection, helping you learn from the past, stay grounded in the present, and grow towards the future. Our declaration of intent. This journal was created with genuine care and intention. We also are on a recovery journey. We, being my fiance and I, we created these journals together. We designed this template based on what helped us the most. This guided journal is here to support you in your own path of healing, growth, and self discovery. And then we have a toolbox that, we put together a toolbox of things that helped us, and then we give you a spot to create your own toolbox, which I think is important. Because just because something worked for me, it doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. You have to figure out what works for you. On our structured part, we have a spot to write affirmations of the day. This is because it is so important how we talk to ourselves. Like I said earlier, when I first came into sobriety, I was so full of shame and guilt that I could not even look at myself in the mirror. So I started doing research, and we damaged the neural pathways in our brain in active addiction, but we can repair these same neural pathways. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. For a month, I would wake up in the morning, I would brush my teeth with my left hand because I'm right-handed. I would then take 25 exaggerated breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. And then I would look at myself in the mirror and I would say 10 nice things to myself. And for the first couple of weeks, I could not do this without looking away. But before the month was over, I was able to look at myself in the mirror again. I can even relate that to the Bible as well. I have unlocked the keys to be content in every situation. That means your perspective quite literally shapes your reality. It is so important how we talk to ourselves. Much more important than how anything that anyone else could ever say to us. Your internal dialogue is going to determine how you feel and how you look at yourself. Next, I have a spot for a gratitude list because, gosh, again, your perspective quite literally shapes your reality. Confirmation bias means your brain is wired to continually search for evidence that supports your beliefs. That means you have a choice every day. You can wake up and be miserable because guess what? There's plenty of things to be miserable about, but there's also a plethora of things to be grateful for. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what situation you're in. You need to find something to be grateful for and hone in on that. Because if not, you're only going to see the bad. What is one goal I can focus on for today? Again, 42% of people who write their goals down, they achieve their goals. Simple math. The odds are against us. Right now, I feel blank because it's important to understand how we feel. How could I have made today better? This is just a check-in. What did I learn about myself today? Part of the check-in. What brought me peace today? And the overall feeling of the day. And then we have just blank pages for you to write. And for the people who are trying to grow spiritually, we created another journal called Letting Go with God. I'm so excited about this. No one has seen this yet. I got author copies coming, so I'm going to be able to show you guys what it looks like before you order them. But it's set up the same way. It's got structure to it. It's lightly guided. And the reason why we created this is because, we were taking notes in our recovery journals during church on Sundays. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, because our pastor, he'll when he's preaching, he brings scripture into it. And like, I thought it would be a good idea to have a place to write Bible verses down, a prayer of the day. I'm really excited about this. The link will be in the description of this video. And for anybody who is looking to partner with our show, if you want to help donate journals to treatment facilities in your area or mine, please reach out to me. You can email me at theganyshow@gmail.com. I would be so excited to do that with you. These aren't just products. These are tools that I use in my daily life. On April 20th, I will be 3 years sober. And the coolest part is, I'm not doing all this stuff alone anymore. We're starting to build something incredible. Okay, between the journals and The work I'm doing with Lake Geauga Recovery Centers, which I got sober in their program, and we are also in the process of we are in the onboarding process to become a partner with the Geauga New Leaf program as well. We've designed a planner for them, and they are going to be supplying the participants of the drug court with our journals, and I'm so excited about this. But to add to that, I have a family member who is just she's been crucial in as far as my foundation for my sobriety goes. She is a certified peer support with incredible sobriety credentials. Okay, she also spoke on the first podcast that I was ever invited on, which was called Get a Grip. If you haven't seen our episodes on Get a Grip, please check them out. Phenomenal show. She created her own guided meditations, which I will also be linking that in the description of my videos from this point forward. Guided meditations can help people through anxiety. It can help curb cravings, and it will definitely encourage healing. Again, she will be linked in our YouTube description in every video moving forward. And we also run a recovery group every Sunday at 6 p.m. called Unanonymous. It's a place where people can show up exactly as you are, okay? It's available on Zoom to anybody, anywhere. Again, we are building a community of people here because I think it's so important that you guys understand that we are not alone in this. You do not have to do this alone anymore. That was one of the things that kept me from healing for so long was I was convinced that I had to figure whatever it was out. Everything. I had to figure it out on my own. That is not the case with recovery. You got to find your people, man, and build something. That's what we're doing here. This is more than just YouTube videos. And like I said, we have opportunities with treatment centers and drug court programs opening up right now, and I will share more about that in a later episode. But what that shows me is this. When you change your life, you don't just change your life, you impact who knows how many other people. Before I film every episode, I ask God, please, if just one person sees this and it helps them, my heart is full. I don't care if I got to give these journals away. If I can get them in the hands of people who need them, my heart is full. If you're watching this right now, I need you to understand something. You are not alone. You are not too far gone. I don't care how bad it looks. Change is possible. But it absolutely starts with willingness, not perfection. Willingness. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to accept the help. You have to be willing to admit that you don't have it all figured out, and that's okay. And if you can find just a little bit of that willingness, I promise you, your whole life will begin to change. And if this video reaches enough people, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to share my full story. And until then, I just need you to take the first step, please. Just please understand you do not have to do this alone. Everything I mentioned, our journals, my cousin Amanda's guided meditation, our Sunday groups that are accessible via Zoom to anyone, anywhere. All of the links will be in the description. And if anyone's having trouble navigating those links, please reach out to me. Also, if you have a story of recovery, struggle, redemption, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey right now. I want to hear from you. Our testimonies is what saves people's lives. Please email me at thegandyshow@gmail.com. I would be honored to share your story. And finally, that it just takes a little bit of willingness to start seeing change in your life. And I need you to understand that you do not have to do this alone. If you're still here, I don't believe that's by accident. I believe God puts people exactly where they need to be at the exact moment they need it. And maybe this is your moment. Not to have everything figured out, but just to become willing. Because that's where my life started to change. And I know that if God did this for me, I'm positive He'll do it for you. So if you're struggling, please do not do it alone. Everything you need is in the description of this video. The guided meditation, the journals, the Sunday group, the resources. And if you want to hear my full story, please let me know in the comments. But for now, just take one step towards a better life. All it takes is a little bit of willingness to start a completely different life. I love you. I'm out.